Okay, so originally, I don't know why I'm mentioning this because it doesn't really matter anyways, but I had a finished cut of the same video, the August 2022 haul, and it was back to back with the other one you saw a week ago with the graduation haul. But I decided not to upload it because it was 12 minutes long, and the other one was 32 minutes long. I'm talking about more books here than I am with the graduation haul, so it didn't make any sense. Actually, it was pretty much, it was almost half double books. Half double? How do you say that? I don't know. But anyways, let's get right on with it, and I'll try and do the ones that you've already seen, though, because I have them by author on my shelf, so it's gonna take a little bit. Actually, it was a week ago, so actually it doesn't really matter. First one up is Cemetery Beach. Now, the next three, and pretty much all the Warren Ellis books I got this month, I really got because I wanted a full collection of the Warren Ellis's library on Image. Now, technically, there are some, like, 3-issue miniseries he did way back in the day, but those I don't count because of the fact, I mean, I could have gotten them, but I decided not to. I'm glad I didn't, because the books I'm getting tomorrow are probably better. Well, maybe not, but you'll see. But those ones I decided not to get, because they don't even include those. They don't include any of them. It's just these that you'll be seeing, including this, obviously, and then Injection, Volumes 1 through 3, which I got a long time ago. And, of course, the hardcover collections, but obviously you don't count those. It's just a more complete collection of the paperbacks. This one collects 7 issues of Cemetery Beach, all 7 issues, for $17.99, which is pretty expensive, but it's a newer book. But it looks pretty interesting. It's, again, like I had mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned this on the graduation haul, but when you see the phrase "Welcome to the Giant Toilet Planet," it's really not, I'm not expecting anything like groundbreaking and thought-provoking. Hopefully I'll get something that's at least entertaining. I got pretty low reviews on Goodreads, and that's pretty much why, if I wasn't a completist, I would have just skipped it. But I feel like I've skipped it long enough. I've seen this book at Newbury Comics, probably every single time I went for, a year straight. It was just the same spot, and no one picked it up. And it was just one copy, because they don't like having more than one copy, which is really weird of both books. Maybe because I don't have shelf space for it, but even, storage, can't do that. But the saving grace is that both Mark Millar, well, 3 of them, Ruben Fleischer, who did Venom, but he also did Zombieland, a far superior movie. I don't know why I don't put that in parentheses. Mark Millar and Kieran Gillen all gave it positive reviews. And all 3 of those guys, I like their work. I like Ruben Fleischer's Zombieland, not as much his Venom. His Venom I found was just, I think it was actually Studio Medellin, but you'd think they'd want more Venom. And they'd got a no Venom in that movie, I feel. And when he got to it, it was only an hour and a half movie, so you get back into that, get into Venom halfway in the movie. I mean, thank God it was an hour and a half. I still have not seen the second one. I do kind of want to see it though, even though I heard it was not that great, and people that actually liked the first one don't like the second one. Next one up is another Warren Ellis one. It's going to be a lot of Warren Ellis, and that's Ministry of Space. Now, you might be also asking, why out of all the authors to be a completist with, are you a completist with Warren Ellis? And I don't know. I really don't. I like his work enough, but it's not like a Garth Ennis situation where I'm gonna want to read this, It's kind of like Warren Ellis is yeah, he's good, definitely a good writer, but I don't own enough of his books, and that was part of it. But one of them I was about to get, which I think is actually not next, but I was like, you may as well get these two. But Ministry of Space, I don't know if I mentioned before, but I'll just say that. It does not feel like it's 100 pages. I think that's because, this one right here, that example. Here. This one right here is Fell, and it looks to be the same size. This has 8 issues, this has 3 issues. More than half. That's why it doesn't feel like it has 3 issues. I really do think that it depends on the paper quality, which I hope it's good in all of these books, thank God, because I spent a pretty good amount of money on these. But yeah, this is 1 through 3 of Ministry of Space. Again, no interest in this story. It's about the space race, and I heard it was just a pretty straightforward story. Like, I told you exactly what happened, and it wasn't anything different. I mean, I don't want to be too different and have a Manhattan's Project situation with Jonathan Hickman. A series that, I kid you not, I did like the first time I read it, then I was like, I think Jonathan Hickman, you just have to be in the mood to read Jonathan Hickman. Whereas other authors, you can be like, yeah, I kind of want to read this, and you'll be blown away, like with Garth Ennis or even Warren Ellis. And a lot of other authors, like even Kieran Gillen, honestly. A lot of those authors are like, yeah, you may just pick up this book because I wrote it, or because it just sounded interesting to you, but you may not be in the mood for it. You just kind of want to see what the hubbub is about, like, if it's popular. I don't know how I'm explaining it the right way, or in a way that makes sense. And we got, also by Warren Ellis, Supreme Blue Rose, collecting Supreme Blue Rose 1 through 7. Now, this is, I found out the hard way, a character that had been previously established before Warren Ellis took on the run. So, it is technically like a volume 2 or volume 5, whatever, however many volumes she had before Warren Ellis took on the run. I'm trying not to say got his hands on her, because that sounds very wrong. And this one collects 1 through 7, I guess I already mentioned that. But this one they say is a good jumping on point. Like, you can read this one without knowing anything about the character, like how it is with me, and you won't need to read anything prior. Or maybe even after. I think they said it was standalone, too. Then we got, this is the one you guys taught before when I was in a comparison to Ministry of Space, Fell, Volume 1, Feral City. Now, what pisses me off about this book is that I wish either they waited, like I said, trade came out after all 8 issues were out. I mean, issue 9 was delayed or came out like way after, whatever. But this does not collect issue 9. It's just issues 1 through 8 of Fell, and issue 9 is the last of the series. I think either it's a permanent hiatus or it just got canceled outright. I think it was more Warren Ellis just wasn't, I guess, interested enough in the story, or he just stopped writing it, and now he's not back. Oh, that was why. Duh. That's why I got all the Warren Ellis Image books. He's not going back to Image. That was the whole thing. But I don't even have, like, to get the digital books by Warren Ellis, the ones that aren't in any, like, trades like here or aren't on the Image site themselves, it's kind of stupid to get that when I can't get Fell issue 9, you know? Like a book that's actually got good reviews. I know you can say that about the other books I got, but that wasn't the point. The point was to get the ones, at the very least, that Image Comics, the official site, cited as Warren Ellis had written them. Even when you go by single issues, you don't get any of the ones that were, like, the ones from long ago. I think it was Down, and that was something else, I don't remember. But, yeah, that was why. Duh. Yeah, it's not exact. I don't think it's going back. Alright, I'll do the last 3, only one, because they're all the same series, and that is Trees by Warren Ellis. Now, this is not the last 3. This is the last of the Warren Ellis books. Don't get confused. Now, again, like I mentioned, when I got Trees, 2 out of the 3, they had my local library. I mean, again, interloan, so I had to wait like, what, 2 days? They're very fast, and so it's for faster service. They have Gmail, which is super fast, and ILL, which is not so fast. In fact, I was still waiting approval by them. I'm like, what the fuck? I want that book. But this, again, they had 2 out of the 3, and they were the best of the series, too. It's volume 3, they say, isn't too great. But yeah, all 3 volumes of Trees. And I also could have gotten volumes 2 and 3 at Newberry for $7 each, and then just gotten this, and yeah, the other Newberry Comics and Salem, whatever, or just, you know, did that, but I didn't. But by now I would have had them at $7 pop, and it wouldn't have mattered at that point. I had the library. Trees Volume 1 collects Trees 1 through 8. Trees Volume 2 collects Trees 9 through 14. Maybe 14. And then Trees Volume 3, I think, I'm doing the... I hate when I do this. I don't show it right here. So, sorry. I'm doing this again. I messed up. Trees, Volume 1. The In Shadow, collecting Trees 1 through 8. I like to be complete about it. I'm a completist, not only with series, or like, you know, how many issues are out of the series. I'm also a completist in giving you guys a full title and what the comic collects. Or, you know, or authors or anything like that. Trees, Volume 2, Two Forests, collecting issues 9 through 14 of Trees. This is the fall over here. There we go. And then Trees, Volume 3, Three Fates, collecting Trees, Three Fates, 1 through 5. Next three is Phonogram by Kieran Gillen. Now this is, I don't have all the Kieran Gillen ones. I just have all the Kieran Gillen ones that are available. There's one that's out of print, or no, it's not out of print. It's to wait like 10 years to get it. It's like a month. It was weird. I guess it's just not in stock. Like I don't know what that means to Amazon, because Amazon, like, I have a book coming in tomorrow, but it was 2 days shipping no matter what, because of the fact that it was coming from Highland, California. So it can take 2 days, because it takes about a day to get from California to my area, even with the, they think that they you have to go to all the stops, but even with the Amazon plane, which I'm so happy that they did do that, because a lot of these books I have to wait a long time for. But yeah, book like that, why do I have to wait even longer? Like, it was like a week for another book I'm not getting. It was a Kieran Gillen book. I forget what it was called. It was like a one-word title. And it was stupid because I had to wait like a really long-ass time for it. I was like, you know what, I'm not getting that then. How about that? But I also don't have, I'm never going to get all of his Wicked and Divine, but they have the whole entire series at Newbury. Not at Newbury, at a local library. Why did I waste money on that, Yeah, I like that series. I always said I kind of want to buy the entire series myself, so I can really read it and really understand what's going on in this series, but even that, like, it's kind of like, what's the point? Maybe if I find a single issues at a good price, but even then, I'd sell the more pricier ones. Actually, I could do that, because I have the first volume, so I could do that. Alright, so Phonogram Volumes 1 through 3. Phonogram Volume 1, Rue Britannia, and I did get the full color edition, collecting Phonogram 1 through 6. And it's going to get kind of confusing, because because the next one, they don't say, like, oh, it's Phonogram Picture Perfect 1 through 6. No, they just say it's just 1 through 5, I believe, which is 1 through 7, I think. Then you got Phonogram Volume 2 at the Singles Club. It's also Jamie McKelvey, so you see the artwork, and it's very reminiscent of Wicked and Divine, and it's very reminiscent, and of his, what's it again? Oh, and also Matthew Wilson. So it's the entire, basically the entire, the entire creative team behind Wicked and Divine. Oh, and Young Avengers too. Jamie McKelvey and Kieran Gillen did Young Avengers, which I like that series enough. It wasn't, I did not like as much as the original, but I feel like the original was so damn good. Yes, it's actually, they do call it Phonogram the Singles Club 1 through 7, so I was wrong when I said it did. They said Phonogram 1 through 7. And you got Phonogram the Immaterial Girl, which collects 1 through 6. The Immaterial Girl, Phonogram, Immaterial Girl. They don't, for whatever reason, they don't show it right away. Oh, it's just the story plus supplementary material. But what kind of pissed me off about this one is that, and they could have done this, because, case in point, Homesick Pilots, but this one was also $14.99, right? Actually, I think it was $16.99. Yeah, this one was $16.99. And yeah, I know it's full color, but it's always the rest of the series. It's also a newer printing, so it makes sense. But you only got 6 issues, so it's still the same price. It's kind of scummy in my opinion. But I mean, I still wanted it. The thing about Phonogram and why I took forever, the reason why I was so skeptical to get it, finally, like I mentioned before, which the story didn't really interest me, and it was just, I thought it wasn't readily available either. I thought it was out of print, because the hardcover is out of print. And usually, I always feel like when there's a hardcover and these softcovers are still available, people just like me, they don't care what edition you get a book in, just buy the softcovers. The only time I'll buy a hardcover collection of an already softcover, I always get the softcover. The only time I'll get the hardcover instead of the softcover is if the softcover is not available. I can get a hardcover at a cheaper price than the softcover, and it has happened before. Or there's more content in the hardcover. Yes, I did get the 5 volumes of curse words, and the hardcover has more book than the soft covers do, but I mean, I got them free. I'm not gonna pass that down. It's one issue that was missing in the soft covers because they had it unpublished, and they finally published it for the hardcover. The next 6 are all Rumble by John Arcudi, and you'll soon see here that much like Kieran Gillen, I decided to get all of John Arcudi's image work. There's 3 more after this that finish his run. So, Rumble Volume 1, What Color of Darkness collects, and this seems to be very reminiscent of, you're going to probably hear that word a lot, of his, like, of Hellboy, which is nice, which is good because he's very familiar with Hellboy. He did a BPRD run that my library didn't fucking have. So I bet you any money that either I'll put it in again and they'll have it, like no problem, no like, oh they might, maybe not, the library staff was looking into it. That's what it said basically on the little blurb there. Or they have Volume 2. Not Volume 1, but Volume 2. Alright, but Rumble Volume 1 collects 1 through 5 of Rumble, I believe. Yes. 1 through 5. Yeah, that series sounds very interesting to me too, but you'll soon see here, actually I already mentioned it, but the first 3 volumes are the best. Volumes 4 through 6 with different artists. And you know we'll do the art on Volume 1. And I'll do it after, because I want to do a comparison. Sorry, I got a text. I had to answer it. It was kind of important. I was waiting on when I'm going to be able to go shopping, which hopefully this Monday. Sunday will be nice. But Monday is supposed to be the worst day. Which is good, because I'm getting books tomorrow, so it's probably good I'll be there for the books, you know. Alright, continuing on. Rumble Volume 2, A Woe That Is Madness. And we'll do like the artwork comparison. You can definitely tell it's the same colorist, so still good colors, but the art they said was not too great. And unfortunately the story too. Rumble 6 through 10 for Volume 2. Pretty thick book for only collecting 5 issues. It must be more than like your standard, what, I think it was 32, I think, maybe even less than like your standard 30 pages of book for each volume. Or maybe it is 30 and the other was 22, I don't know. Rumble Volume 3, Immortal Coil, collecting 11 through 15 of Rumble. I should know this by now, because how many times? Yeah, I've taken a week off from it, but it's one of those things you don't forget. And then it came back with a 2017 run with Rumble Volume 4, Soul Without Pity. I want to double check to make sure it's the first 5 issues of the relaunch. I'll say it, okay, fine. Yeah, and then we'll do the artwork comparison. I'm actually glad I did do it. Yeah, it's 1 through 5. I'm actually glad I did do a. I decided to do it now, just because of the fact that it was like pitch black darkness, and yeah, I had the light on, but it was like, hey, I kind of hate that light when I'm doing and I only really noticed this recently, but the should I do this? Hang on. Volume 5, Rumble Volume 5, things, I have no idea what I put that on I thought I would remember that was on my, bed. Rumble Volume 5, Things Remote, collecting Rumble 2017 series 6 to 10. Then Rumble Volume 6, Last Night, collecting 11 through 17. And because they gave you 2 more issues, they're like, hey, you know what? 1999 fuckers. It's so annoying when I do that. Like 7 issues for $20. You just had Warren Ellis one for $17.99. It's like, makes no sense. I get it. If you can do it, you will. Do I have Volume 4? No, I have Volume 4. I have it right here. Okay, making sure I have Volume 4. So here's the artwork for this volume. This is Volume 1. You can see it's very detailed and vibrant. And it's not really that much different here, I would argue. course, I should probably get one that's like that kind of hellish artwork like it was before. And yeah, they said, a lot of the reviewers said that, and I think it did at least, when I remember, they were saying things along the lines of, you won't notice it until you read it, but it gets worse as it goes along. And for me, again, I'm a completist. I don't care. I'm getting the entire series. And there's enough. If half of the series is good and half of the series is not that great but not terrible, I'm getting the full series. Whatever the hell. I would have been less happy with it with not getting the full series than I would have been with getting the full series. Now, saving money, yeah, but and for something that's not gonna be too great, but yeah, who cares? Next one up is The Creep by John Arcudi, and this is a weird one because even though it's by Image, it collects Dark Horse Presents issues. It's whatever issues were in The Creep. They don't tell you exactly which ones were. I think the Amazon lists do tell you exactly what it is. But it's whatever Dark Horse Presents issues collects the Creep anthologies. And also that awesome black and white artwork. That reminds me of a mixture between The Walking Dead and Sin City. And no, it's not by, it's done by either authors. It might be. I know it's definitely not by Sin City. Frank Miller had nothing to do with that. And then we got Two Moons. And as of with these ones, you've seen all the John Arcudi Image books that are out right now. There is one on the Kindle. He did come back to do a Rumble story in the recent Image anthologies. They did the Image ! Anthology. They did that for their 30th anniversary. I'm glad that I hope that's the only one because it's kind of annoying when they do that. We're like, oh, here's a little Rumble story. Oh, to be continued in this issue, and they're already $5.99, and I'm only buying those issues for the Rumble story. And of course, there's stories by Jeff Johns, I believe Donny Cates. There's two big names there. I was like, oh, okay, I might get this series. I'm probably just gonna wait for the trade come out. Wait for the trade to come out, or my local comic book store has the first two issues. I think it's only either 4 or 3 out. 3 or 4 out right now, so I'd get 2 more. One more than 8. No. Alright, so Two Moons Volume 1, The Iron Noose, collecting. Oh, and Volume 6 of Rumble, we didn't know was last night. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that. I just feel like I didn't. Collecting Two Moons 1 through 5. That's Volume 1. And Volume 2, Ghost War, collects Two Moons 6 through 10. Right. Just making sure. Because as we all know, they could say, oh yeah, it does. I know it does. And yeah, it was only 2 volumes, but it was still $16.99 per volume. It's only $14.99. Alright, now we'll do that after. No, I didn't go in order. Anyway, so what does it matter? Yeah, it's already. I checked how long we were when I was going with the books. Already 20 minutes in, so we're kind of almost done. Like we got like 3 more series, but there are a lot of volumes in the series, as we'll see with this one. I recently had purchased all 10 volumes of Birthright. And probably the most smartest decision I ever made because I would not have been able to get the next ones you'll see, or maybe not get Rumble, maybe not get Phonogram. You'll see in a second here, but I decided to get all 10 volumes of Birthright. And this is a series that I was extremely skeptical about. And it's kind of, you're gonna laugh when I say this because I was just talking about artwork and how much it doesn't matter to me, technically. But the artwork in this book just did not seem too great. I mean, I don't know why I said that. When I saw the first page, because someone had shared it, I was like, oh, this is a high, not high end, but a high action, like not high end, like a high stakes? No, like a big, branching? Like a fantasy epic. That's not the artwork I would expect for a fantasy epic. Like a big sprawling fantasy epic. I would expect that artwork to be in like a kind of a parody, I guess, but not like super, like a more like kid-friendly version, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, but for the longest time I didn't get this book. I don't know what I wasn't gonna get this book, and I was like, you know what? It's Joshua Williamson. I liked his nail biter. Might as well get his other critically acclaimed series. I think that's pretty much it. He did a few silver coins and a few other books that are out of print on Amazon, so I can't get them anyways, even if I wanted to. And those are actually also anthologies too. There's Evolution, Silver Coin, and then there's Gods and Mobsters one that Monsters and Mobs. It was Mobs and Monsters, I believe. That was what it was called. That's out of print too, so I can't get it. But Volume 1, Homecoming, collecting Birthright 1 through 5. Birthright Volume 2, Call to Adventure, collecting Birthright 6 through 10. Spoilers, it's all 50 issues. I didn't mention that. 10 volumes, 50 issues, so it's 5 per. But I still want to go over them. Birthright Volume 3, Allies and Enemies, collecting Birthright 11 through 15. I also like fantasy, too. I was super stuttered. Birthright Volume 4, Family History, collecting Birthright 16 to 20, and pretty much all of the criticisms that Goodreads was giving to it, and Sam Quixote absolutely demolished it in his review. Comic Pop basically said no, it's yeah, it might seem like it's very similar to a lot of other fantasy books, but it's not. It goes its own way. I was happy to find out. I'm not like when I hear a book is very similar to this book. I mean, I haven't read a lot of fantasy to begin with. The only reason I got this was pretty much like Once or Future, which I still have not read. It's gonna end at issue 25. I still have to catch up on it. No, issue 30. Duh. We already got issue 25. I'm thinking something else, I guess. But no, it's ending at issue 30. But I still have to get the 26, 29, I think. So I'm hoping I can get them like on Monday or Sunday, whatever. Hopefully Monday the latest. Would. Birthright Volume 5, Belly of the Beast, collects Birthright 21 to 25. Did I go over that? I think I did. And this one, for whatever reason, was going to be 3 days, but they went back 2 days, like an hour later. It was later. I was like, wow, great. No, it was an hour later. It was like 2 seconds. I would have gotten most of these the next day shipping, but it was too late to get them because it was a big purchase. I always have to ask about them. It's kind of stupid. It makes no sense when you think about it. It's like it's my money and I'm smart about it. And Ben's smart about it. I think they think that my parents. They think that when I move out, that I'm gonna be spending all my money on everything but rent, which that's not what I do. I'm obviously not that dumb. All right, next one up. Let's not get into that. Next one up is Birthright Volume 6, Fatherhood. Collects Birthrights 26 through 30. Then Birthright Volume 7, Blood Brothers. Collects Birthright 31 to 35. Birthright Volume 8, Live by the Sword. Collects Birthright 36 to 40. Birthright Volume 9, War of the Worlds. Collects Birthright 41 to 45. And the last volume, Birthright Volume 10, Epilogue, collecting 46 to 50. Otherwise known as the last 5 issues. And I got... Oh, why did I take that one out? Oh, because it was next to it. Okay. That's fine. So I'll put those back. Those ones were not recent purchases. So would it make sense to put that in the August haul when it was probably last August? Those ones. Okay, next 4 are all morning glories. I'm just gonna mention everything again. Why not? So it was Nick's. It was kind of like one of those things where it was like, let's go with the good and the bad. The good is by Nick Spencer. The bad, I know nothing about the series. Good, it sounded like an interesting story and enough story. Bad, they have the most boring, absolute tedious. Doesn't appeal to your eye at all. Isn't non-eye catching. The opposite of eye catching covers. At least for these 3 volumes. Like what's even going on in this volume? There's just two people standing next to each other. Yeah, I guess like you'd say, oh well, by this point you see these characters and you're like, oh my god, wow, it's gonna hit the fan. But let's give it in like new readers too. And I think volume 1 has kind of like a boring cover too. It's all these kind of like white backgrounds, just shows the characters, 2 or 3 characters. This one's a bit better because it makes sense why it would be look like a yearbook, because it's about an academy. And again, like I said before, it was the weirdest thing of why I was finally decided to buckle down. I don't know. I finally started to get it. I finally decided to get it, and that was with reading Wayward. Even though they're written by 2 different authors, I think they actually, coincidentally enough, both had Spider-Man runs. But Jim Zub was one that did Wayward, and Nick Spencer was this. But Wayward, like, the story sounded interesting enough to me to where I'm like, I want more of this kind of story, and I hope that Morning Glories do that. I'm trying to like glare the sun, the daytime, light, sunlight. Yes, the sun's not technically out right now. It's later in the day. But this one collects Morning Glories 1 through 38. Seems like it collects a lot more than that. Maybe maybe like with Rumble, some of the issues are longer than others. I think issue 1, because I was checking to make sure mine had the right printing, which it does, and yours should too if you buy yours. There's 1 left in stock on Amazon. I kind of wish I had bought it when it was 1 left in stock, because it was like 3 left in stock when I bought it. So no one else bought it. I don't think because of me. Could have been, but I don't think. This one came in kind of back condition. A little bent here, but that's the worst of it. So I don't like bends, but that's fine. I'd rather have be a bend than like that, oh, part of this is taken out, so you think the book's going to fall apart when you open it. But this is Volume 8, Morning Glories, Volume 8, Rivals, collecting 39 to 42. Morning Glories, Volume 9, Assembly, collecting 43 to 46. And Volume 10, collecting 46 to 50, right? Or no, 47 to 50. Yes, 47 to 50 of the series, which is the last of the series, too. It only went up to issue 50. It's bent here. It only went up to issue 50 before it got canceled. Like with, not Rumble, but like with, what's that one? Oh, like with Fell. And the last 5 books are all one series, and that is Brian Azzarello's Moonshine. A series I actually did write. Yeah, I wrote it. The series I actually did read the first issue of, and know it's good. A lot of these, I don't know if I'll like them. Yeah, they're critically acclaimed and everything, but does that mean I'm gonna like them? So yeah, Moonshine Volumes 1 through 5. Moonshine Volume... I like Brian Azzarello... I said that. Obviously I do, because I read the first issue. But it's also the same creative team behind 100 Bullets, which is... I mean, even I have to say it's better than this, obviously. But it's just because 100 Bullets is like is magnum opus. It's like a magnum opus, almost a magnum opus of Image Comics, of Vertigo Comics. But that's a pretty high bar to cross. I mean, you've got Preacher and Hellblazer and a lot of other series. Okay, so Moonshine Volume 1 does not tell you, like, if it's Moonshine Volume 1, Drunken Love, whatever the hell they call it. And it also has to do with Prohibition, which that caught my interest. But I heard that the main complaint with this is that there's so much they throw at the wall, and they don't like, and not a lot of it sticks, like, as in, they don't follow through with it. They kind of drop certain plot points. But, I mean, it's not a big complaint for me. Like, whatever. Volume 1 collects 1 through 6 of Moonshine. I'm not too tough a critic. Moonshine Volume 2, Misery Train, collects Moonshine 7 to 12. Moonshine Volume 3, Rue Le Jour, collects Moonshine 13 to 17. Moonshine Volume 4, Angel's Share collects Moonshine 18 and 22. And finally, Moonshine Volume 5, The Well, collecting Moonshine 23 26. Sorry, 28. 23 28. I wonder if that one got canceled too. I don't think it did. So that's 38 trades, all in one month. And the graduation helped, but that's a lot. Technically, it was because it's 38. I'm adding a 6 because of the Morning Glories collecting 7 volumes all in one. So that's 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. Technically, it's 44. They're going by those standards, but you don't want to do that. Technically, I got like almost like over 50 with, over 60 with Invincible. Almost like up to 100. It's 25 volumes and 30 compendiums. I'm still surprised they did that. It will do that. I mean, talents help that both stays together along with my other, the Morning Glories compendium, but I'm sure it will. But that, as they say, is that. Stay tuned for tomorrow. We'll have actually a new comic haul with new books that aren't just ones you've seen before, but all at once. And no, I did not get any floppies this month. It was also because of vacation. Like, I would have gone this week. I would have already gone to the library and to Newbury this week if it hadn't been for going away. And hopefully I would have tried to get it in before the month ended. So, even before Thursday, which I probably wouldn't have been able to do. But again, that, as they say, is that. 36 minutes. Longer than the other one, but not by much. Probably forgot to mention a few things I wanted to mention. I didn't even mention the graduation hall video. That is that.